Say hello to my little friend. Yeah, this is the DJI Neo2. And yeah, you can use it without a controller. It's got sensors all over it to help it dodge stuff. And it's dead simple. You have a little screen here so you can tell it what to do. If you want it in follow mode, and there's buttons on the side that use
cycling follow.
Cycling follow is the one that you need to use for motorbiking. You can tell it whether to stay close to you, far away, whether to go high, whether to go low, whether to go behind you, front left, front right, rear left, rear right. And you can do that all without a controller as well. It can do some clever things.
Circle.
It can circle around you. So yeah, should we try circle? Let's tell it to go circle. Yeah, 2 meters is fine.
20 meters.
No.
2 meters. 4 meters.
Let's go 4 meters. And then let's
low
make
angle,
it
flat. Low angle, flat.
Let's have it go flat. And then there's a red button on the side. You put it in palm of your hand, press the red button.
4 meters. Circle.
And it'll do a countdown
3,
for you.
2, 1.
So there we go. It makes quite a high-pitched noise. It is a little bit loud, but that is going to now do a circle around me, supposedly. There we go, which I'll probably never use. It's going to crash into that bush, you think, and the bush is behind me because I've not started in a perfect 4-meter circle. But even if there's stuff in the way, it will try and find a way around it. You can't disable that, so it'll just plough willfully into stuff. But there we go. It's just done a little circle, and when it's done, you just put your hand out, and it's like a good little dog. Isn't that genius? Isn't that genius? I'm really looking forward to using this thing out on the trails. I'm going to try it again now to get some footage, see how it copes following me from behind. But yeah, for the rest of the year, and next year, I'm going to be experimenting with this. I paid for it with my own money. It was about 350 quid for the kit with the controller and loads of other stuff, batteries, etc. You have to use your phone in the controller. It's not the one with the screen. Yeah, I'll see how it handles my abuse, frankly. Battery life is probably going to be a negative. You can only get about 10 minutes to a battery, but I've got 3 of them in my rucksack, and this fits in a jacket pocket. Love it.
The big reason I bought this drone, having only ever owned one drone before, is that it's just super flexible and super simple to use. So it can follow you around like this automatically, like Giordano Stalker. And if you raise a palm flat to the camera, you can take control of the drone and reposition it. Then you can go like this. You look like an absolute penis, but you can make it go closer or further away. That wasn't working here because there was a bush right behind it. But I wanted the drone behind me, so look, I do my best impression of the hood from Thunderbirds. And then I walk off looking like a Poundland version of Agent 47 from the Hitman games. I haven't got the barcode tattoo on the back of my head, but it's just so good having shots of me. I never have a cameraman with me. I run solo all the time. So having this little drone, which can fit, I can just wedge it under those kind of Krieger boob pockets and then ride off with it. It's great. So here I'm doing a little bit of a test to see if it will transition between following me on foot to following me on the bike, or would I have to stop and set it up again? Let's see. See if it can transition from me walking to riding off.
Now, if you buy the Flymore kit, you get this, a controller with removable thumbsticks, which live in the bottom, USB-C, no holes on the back, so you can't easily get a mount for your handlebars for it, and you have to use your phone for it. Start, stop button, and a gimbal, uppy, downy angle control thing, technical terms. And you've got the usual switch for cinematic, which is slow, normal, and sports, which is fast but disables obstacle avoidance. And you've got a return to home button. Yeah, let me set this up and show you how it works. Okay, so I've got the DJI Fly app on my phone. It's plugged in via USB-C to the controller. That stuff will docks away in the controller itself. And then you can just use it as a normal drone. So yes, it can be flown without a controller. It can do all the crazy following you stuff, which is handy. But if you also just want to get some vistas, you can send it up into the great blue yonder and use it as a normal drone, he says. There we go. Right, so let's start recording. You have to remember to start recording when you're doing this. Then let's go and get some establishing shots. Now you do need to go and do your UK drone registration multiple choice test to do all this stuff, but it's dead easy. It costs 11 quid for a year, and let's go and get some shots.
I'd say that the image quality from the Neo2 is fine for YouTube. It's not going to be as crystal clear, especially in low light situations, as something like the Mini 5 Pro with its bigger sensor. Also, it's worth noting that you can't shoot in D-Log, so you can't shoot in a flat color profile and slap LUTs on it afterwards. It's really an entry-level drone, but I'm pretty happy with the results, mixed in with the footage from my new DJI Osmo Action 6, which I don't think is as good as a GoPro. It's alright, it does the job for YouTube. Sorry you've had to watch me doing this while I do voiceover. It's the only spare footage I had. Let's see what my drone can hit. There we go, this way drone. Do I trust it? I don't know if I trust it. Please don't crash into something and fall in the water. Amazing. Amazing. So there we go. The drone is currently in cycling follow mode in front of me, and that means it will hopefully just stay in front of me. I'm not going to go too fast because I can't, because it's wet and muddy and slippery, but it's doing a reasonable job of avoiding everything. I think it might have just taken a hit there. I am slightly focusing more on the drone than my riding though, which is an interesting one. Let's turn around and try it again. That has managed to only just crash there. That is pretty good going, and it's so robust that I know I can go and pick that up and it'll be fine. You alright, mate? But look, this is how easy it is to launch. Just going to kill the engine first. It's set up for cycling follow. Press the button there. And that's it. It'll work out where you are. Hit the screen of my bike, but carry on. And then, yeah, let's see how we go. So I think it can track you at about 18 miles an hour, but when it's having to fly backwards, it can't track or dodge things as well. It can't dodge things as well when it's going backwards. But to be honest, for a bit of extra footage, a view I've never seen of me looking like a complete klutz, you're going to crash, not me, the drone, I think this is pretty cool. Now we're going to go left because I know this. I'm going to sit down. I'm not going to look like a hero, but what are you doing? You have recovered remarkably well from that, and now you've crashed into a tree and I've stalled. Right. My drone's having a mare, but it has just coped with all of that really quite well. Right, let's go down here, drone. I need first gear. So this is massively distracting me because it's the first time I've used it. But, you know, let's see how it comes out in the footage. Whee! Yeah, you're going to struggle here, aren't you, mate? Where are you? Come backwards. Bounce into a puddle then. I mean, it's got good obstacle detection, but this is a hell of a challenge because we've got so much overhead foliage. I mean, yes, that was 6 inches from needing a new drone, wasn't it? Right. Oh dear. Right, let's see how quickly I can get my drone up in the air. Turn it on. Because I like tech, but I don't like it when it gets in the way of my riding and my shooting. So if I can get this to follow, change the setting. I don't want to go high. Actually, no, I want cycling follow anyway.
Cycling follow.
Right. Let's see if I can get to go far away from me this time. So yeah, I still want front. Right. And then I'd press the button.
Front. Cycling follow. 3, 2, 1.
I don't know how this footage will look because it's pretty blooming dark right now.
Let's see. I don't want to be picking this up out of that swamp. No, there's a tree there. Right, you're going to end up talking to your drone quite a lot if you get one of these. Right. Swamp Donkey, final time. 2025. Like a boss! Yes, son! That felt so good, standing up all the way through that. Drone's gone into a tree. Oh, it's actually got itself stuck. Hopefully I can get that down. Right, DJI Neo still gets stuck in trees. There we go. Easy peasy. Got the shot. Squeezy.
Flying well lit.
Yeah, now it chastises you. Flying well lit environments. That's the drone saying, I couldn't see that tree because it's bloody night time, you half-wit. But it survives to fly another day. Now I'm shooting in 4K 60 on it, so you'll be able to slow that down if you use a 30 frames per second timeline. Yeah, meaning you should be able to get some quite cool shots. It's not going to be the best quality because it's got a tiny little sensor. It's not as big as the one in the Mini 5 Pro, which I was looking at. But the obstacle avoidance on the Mini series is not really up to what I need to use it for, which is green laning, off-road motorcycling, having it follow me, and the fact that this is so cheap as well, and really robust. I mean, this has had a lot of crashes in the 3 days I've had it. I've got the DJI Care refresh, so they'll give me another one for a small amount of money. Really impressed. Anyway, more of that to come on the channel next year. Thank you so much for watching this random video about my new toy, because it is a toy, isn't it? Let's be honest. No, sorry, production equipment, if you're HMRC. And I will see you next time. Weird video this. Thanks for sticking with it. But I recommend this if you're going to be riding off-road. Obviously, if you're riding on-road, no bueno, because it's not meant to fly over roads. Oh, a green lane's a road as well.